What is going on, guys? So I am back today because, as most of you know, I'm a big fan of horror and horror in all of its elements. And one of my favorite genres in horror is found footage because, as crappy as some of those films can be, some of them are absolutely fantastic. I'm getting to a point now where I feel like, as far as the big found footage films that everyone talks about, that I've seen most of them, and then you have like a slew of just crappy found footage films for people that have made them at their house and all that. And lately, I've been wanting to watch some found footage films just because I enjoy it. And this was one that kind of floats around the internet in that space that people really enjoy it or they really don't like it, but it has sort of a cult following. And so I decided to just sit down and watch it because it was available on Tubi. And the film I'm going to be talking about today is Be My Cat, A Film for Anne. Be My Cat, A Film for Anne is directed by Adrian Țofei. An aspiring filmmaker goes to shocking extremes to convince Hollywood actress Anne Hathaway to star in his film. First entry in Adrian Țofei's trilogy, which includes We Put the World to Sleep and Pure. So Adrian plays the lead in this film, and he plays this guy who wants to make a movie. And he starts off the film addressing the camera directly to Anne Hathaway. He saw her in Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight Rises, became immediately fascinated with her, and wanted to make a movie so that he could be in the movie with her. And so he decides that to test this out, that he's going to do a casting call, hire these women who are going to play Anne Hathaway's role, but to their surprise, they aren't actually going to be in a movie. It's just a test to see if he can do this with Anne Hathaway. And so the film is him meeting with these actresses, you slowly finding out what kind of a person that he is. So I love these movies that are super weird and that introduce these characters that are kind of strange, where you're getting into their psyche. But this movie did not work for me whatsoever. I really wanted it to, but I felt like it was just really repetitive and irritating after a while. So the first actresses show up, and there's this whole sequence where he's trying to get this actress to get away from him, but he tells her that she can't run, that she has to find a way to get away from him without running. And so it's this really long sequence where he's like acting super strange. He's like laughing at her, doing all these weird things, but she keeps trying as hard as she can because she thinks that he's going to make this really great movie that's going to send her career on a trajectory. And the film continues to go on where we're introduced to these different actresses, and this guy just keeps doing weird things with them. And you start to find out that he is a psychopath, and he goes to these really great lengths to do these really disturbing things. And the entire time I was watching this movie, I thought of Patrick Brice's Creep with Mark Duplass, which is one of my favorite found footage films ever made, because it introduces you to Mark Duplass's character at the beginning. You're not really sure what his intentions are, but it slowly reveals how weird and manipulative and strange that his character is. And there's so many little nuances in the film that give you the idea as to which direction that it's going to go. And then there's things that kind of make you pull back and think, well, maybe it's not going to go the way that I expect it to. And there's so many plays on the genre that Creep does so perfectly, and that I love so much about that, introducing this weird, strange character. And this film does none of that. There's nothing really all that interesting or that pulls at you. It's mostly just showing this weird guy doing really weird, extreme things on camera. And a lot of it is actually done to where it's abstracted, or you don't know. It's just really implied, which is fine, but there's so many long monologues with this character where it just feels like it's the same thing, where you're like, okay, I get it, you're nuts, but show me something more interesting. Give me something that makes me want to keep watching this film, because I kept just thinking, okay, we're going to get into the same thing again and the same thing again. And even in the third act blow up, where it's supposed to be this really tense, suspenseful scene when one of the actresses figures out what's going on, there really is no tension there, because you feel like it's just going to erupt into the same thing that happened again. And this movie just made me leave wanting so much more. I feel like found footage, because you don't have the worry about perfect lighting or cinematography. You need to focus on characters and story and structure if you have the luxury of not worrying about all those other elements. And this didn't really feel like it was worried about character building or making the audience question what was going on. It was really just like, here's a crazy person doing crazy things, and there wasn't really anything more to it than that. And that was disappointing because I saw a lot of potential in this movie for something truly great, and what I got was just something pretty average. So if you've seen the film Be My Cat, did you love it? Did you hate it? Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you thought. I thought this movie was really average. I wanted it to be something spectacular, but it really wasn't anything all that great. As always, if you can like the video and subscribe to the channel, it helps me out a lot and lets me know the type of content you're looking for. I'm always putting out new material and look forward to getting more out for you in the near future. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.